Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be looking at THORChain. Now I know I looked at THORChain about 2 weeks ago, and usually my videos are spaced out a bit longer when I revisit an altcoin, but one of you guys commented down below that you wanted to see an update of THORChain, and I will always do my best to accommodate you guys wherever I can, so here it is. That being said, it is just going to be a quick video, and we're not going to look at too many new points, we're just going to go over the last ones and see how they've played out. So just a bit of a quick update. We can see lots of stuff going on here before the last halving with arrows. These are basically representing of time frames and price movements that THORChain has experienced. The main time frame being 25 weeks, where THORChain put in its low, rallied up and put in its pre-halving high, and then put in a higher low just before the halving, and last time it did rally up. We also had these two, this red and green movements that represented how THORChain played out from its high to its pre-cycle low, its higher low if you will. It could have either been a 400% move to the upside from its initial low, or it could have been a 70% drop from its pre-halving high. And then we had a few other little dates and times like this 8 week before the halving where THORChain actually bottomed out last time. Again, not bottomed out, but put in its local low. This general ticker to show that THORChain did a 14x before the halving. Again, big price movements like we saw, and THORChain was one of the cryptos that rallied early on compared to the rest of the crypto space, which we again saw. And then this final one that is brand new is the total length of when THORChain put in its top to when it crossed the halving. And that's what we will mainly be pointing out today because it's the only new piece of information I'm really bringing. Going over to today, we can see, getting straight into that piece I was just talking about, we have so far topped out during a very similar time frame towards the halving. And again, we did sort of last video 2 weeks ago, I did say we will probably most likely see the 34% move down. Another thing I will quickly say is we expected most of the moves that we got last cycle to take place this cycle, but the percentage moves cut in half. And so far that has actually played out pretty well in terms of how high THORChain has moved in total from its low to its high, how far THORChain has dropped from that high to a low. We again see about 34% of a drop, and last cycle it was 64% of a drop. Another interesting thing to point out is the 25 weeks that THORChain last cycle took to go from its low to its higher low. And if we take a look at that, it's basically played out perfectly. So far it's been 24 weeks, but you know, having the variation of 1 week over such a long time frame I think is pretty spot on. And this is something we talked about, and quite happy that I called it because again, bit of an ego boost, always nice to feel that. And also this, again, the 20-week time frame that we looked at back here, 22. So we can see a lot of similarities to play out. Personally, what I think we will see is something like a fishbowl here. I think we will see a move back up to this top. And last cycle we did see a bit of a retest of this high quite a few times. Me personally, I think we'll probably only see one retest. And then we'll probably have a bit of a pullback and then rally into the halving and afterwards. And we can see that's exactly what THORChain did last time. And THORChain was one of the early coins to start rallying. So again, not a bad time to probably pick up some Rune. But again, of course, nothing that I've said in this video could play out. It's just the fact that THORChain has moved in such an uncanny and similar way to its last halving. Moving to the Bitcoin pair, we can see THORChain has also continued to play out in a very similar way. We get this initial leg up where we set in a support line that slowly trends up. And then we do come back to retest this, and we did do that last time. So far we have come back to retest, but ultimately still trending up. If we zoom in, we can see we are looking like we're in a bit of jeopardy here. We have spent a little bit of time close to this support, but ultimately we have opened and closed above it, even with the occasional wick below. But again, it's not too serious. We can see I've drawn this blue resistance here as well, where we initially put in our top, and then we returned to that top just before the halving. And then THORChain had a big rally on its Bitcoin pair, which isn't unusual to see. A lot of altcoins do tend to do this. And it then followed a retracement where we ultimately returned to this level during mid-2023. So in terms of where I think Rune will go, I think we will probably follow a similar trend. We could very likely come back to this white line. It's not impossible that we don't have a slight change in variation, and I think it would be foolish to expect THORChain to play out exactly how it did last time. However, the fact that it is so similar on its US dollar and Bitcoin pair almost worries me a bit, but is very bullish. And if you went into THORChain with the attitude that it would play out the same time as last time, you've probably made a lot of money, but I doubt very few people have. Congratulations to those of you that have, though. That about wraps this up where I think THORChain will go after the halving. Again, I think we will see a very immediate strong move up after the halving on its Bitcoin pair and its US dollar pair. Again, the more I look at coins like Rune, I feel like it more leads the market rather than lags. So when we see Rune move up, you can probably expect other altcoins to not be too far behind it in terms of strong movers, or at least that's what we've seen not only this cycle but also last cycle, last pre-halving, and also last bull run. Again, THORChain was rallying in May of 2020, and while this is not too unusual on the BTC pair, it was also doing it on its US dollar pair, and then also continued to rally into the bull run year on its Bitcoin pair, and eventually putting in a 45x on its Bitcoin pair, which is astronomical, to put it lightly. Anyway, I will wrap that up before I go on for too long. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Comment down below what you thought, if I missed anything, what video you want to see next, whether that's a coin I covered last week, yesterday, or 3 months ago. Comment down below and I'll always try my best to accommodate you. Thanks very much, take care, and peace.